In a world where alliances shift like sand, the bond between the United States and Europe has stood as a beacon of mutual defense and shared values. But what happens when the very foundation of this alliance is questioned by one of its architects? Today, we're diving deep into a question that's sparking debates in diplomatic circles and living rooms alike. What if Trump wins the next US presidential election? Could the United States really turn its back on Europe? Donald Trump's presidency was marked by unprecedented critiques of NATO and suggestions that the US might lessen its commitments to European defense. With rumors of his return, the specter of a US withdrawal looms large, raising alarms across the Atlantic. In this video, we'll explore the potential implications of a Trump victory for the US-European alliance. From NATO's future and the Russia-Ukraine conflict to European defense autonomy and the global balance of power, we're covering it all. Will Europe need to rethink its security strategy? Can NATO withstand another Trump presidency? And most importantly, what would this mean for the geopolitical landscape of the 21st century? Stay with us as we unpack these questions backed by expert analysis, historical context, and a look at the strategic alternatives for Europe. Whether you're a geopolitical aficionado or just curious about the future of international relations, you're in the right place. In a world where voices clamor to be heard, GeoLand stands apart. We're not just another channel, we're a beacon for those who seek to understand the complexities of our world. Anonymous yet bold, our journey is driven by the quest for truth, beyond the reach of mainstream media's grasp. So as we embark on this exploration of what a Trump victory could mean for Europe and the world, remember, your engagement helps us cut through the noise. Share, like, subscribe, and join us at GeoLand, where truth transcends boundaries. Let's get started.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Alliance on the edge, the rocky road of US-NATO relations. As we embark on this exploration, it's crucial to understand the roots of the US-European alliance and why Trump's stance on NATO during his presidency sparked such widespread concern. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, has been the cornerstone of transatlantic security since its inception in 1949, binding the United States and Europe in a mutual defense pact against the backdrop of the Cold War and beyond. However, the alliance has faced criticism with debates over defense spending and the commitment of member states. Enter Donald Trump. His presidency was marked by a contentious relationship with NATO, challenging long-standing policies and questioning the financial contributions of member countries. Trump's assertion that the US was bearing an unfair share of the defense burden led to fears in a weakened NATO and a divided transatlantic alliance. European leaders, accustomed to decades of US military support, found themselves in a crossroads. The possibility of a US pivot away from NATO under Trump's leadership raised alarms about Europe's ability to defend itself against external threats, notably from an increasingly assertive Russia. This segment sets the stage for our discussion by highlighting the significance of these developments. Trump's critical stance on NATO not only strained US-Europe relations but also ignited a debate on the future of European security and the very fabric of the post-World War II international order. As we move forward, keep in mind the gravity of these issues. The questions we're asking are not merely hypothetical. They're rooted in very real concerns and policy debates that could shape the future of international relations for years to come. A new world order, Trump's vision and Europe's dilemma. With the background context in place, let's delve into the heart of the matter: the implications of a Trump return to the White House for the US-European alliance. Trump's previous presidency hinted at a paradigm shift in US foreign policy, one that could resume and intensify if he were to take office again. Firstly, we must consider Trump's approach to NATO. His skepticism towards the alliance raises the possibility of reduced US military support for Europe. Such a move could fundamentally alter the security landscape of the continent, challenging European nations to reassess their defense strategies in the face of potential threats. Moreover, Trump's foreign policy has often favored bilateral over multilateral engagements. A second Trump presidency might see a continuation of this trend, potentially leading to a more fragmented approach to international relations. For Europe, this could mean navigating a more complex web of US relations, with each country vying for favor and strategic alignment. The impact on NATO cannot be overstated. A diminished US commitment could weaken the alliance's deterrence capabilities, especially concerning Russian aggression. Europe's eastern flank in particular could find itself more exposed than ever, prompting urgent discussions on European defense autonomy and the need for a robust, continent-wide security strategy. But it's not just about defense. Trump's stance on trade and climate agreements has also been a point of contention with European allies. A return to policies that prioritize America first could strain transatlantic relations further, affecting everything from economic cooperation to environmental initiatives. As we explore these implications, it's clear that a Trump victory could lead to a crossroads for US-Europe relations. The choices made in response to such a presidency would not only define the future of NATO, but also the broader contours of global geopolitics. The question for Europe, and indeed for the world, is how to prepare for and respond to such unprecedented challenges. The Eastern Front, Trump, Putin, and the battle for Ukraine. As we turn our focus to the Russia-Ukraine conflict, it's essential to understand how Trump's foreign policy positions could reshape the dynamics of this ongoing crisis and its impact on European security. Trump's previous tenure saw a unique approach to Russia, often sparking controversy and raising questions about the future of US-Russia relations. Trump has expressed a desire for improved relations with Russia, which, while potentially easing tensions, could also embolden Russian aggression in Eastern Europe. His statements on the Russia-Ukraine conflict, suggesting a possible acceptance of Russian claims in exchange for peace, have alarmed many in Europe and beyond. Such a stance could undermine international efforts to support Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, leaving the country more vulnerable to Russian advances. Moreover, Trump's skepticism towards U.S. military aid for Ukraine poses a significant concern. A reduction or cessation of this support could weaken Ukraine's defense capabilities, impacting the balance of power in the region. This scenario would not only affect Ukraine, but also the security of NATO's eastern members, who rely on the alliance's collective defense guarantees. The implications for European security are profound. A shift in U.S. policy under Trump could force Europe to reconsider its defense posture and reliance on NATO. European nations might need to invest more heavily in their military capabilities and seek new alliances to counteract the perceived reduction in U.S. commitment. This segment highlights the intricate web of geopolitical interests surrounding the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the pivotal role U.S. leadership plays in it. As we delve deeper into these issues, it becomes clear that the stakes are high, not just for the parties directly involved, but for the entire international community. The direction of U.S. foreign policy under a potential Trump administration could decisively influence the course of events in Eastern Europe and the future of European security. Europe's crossroads, independence or alliance in a Trump era. In the face of potential shifts in U.S. foreign policy under a Trump administration, Europe finds itself at a crossroads. The question now is, what strategic alternatives does Europe have, and how can it safeguard its interests in an increasingly uncertain global landscape? One pivotal concept that has gained traction is the idea of European strategic autonomy. This notion involves Europe enhancing its ability to act independently in the realms of defense, economy, and foreign policy. With the prospect of a less engaged U.S., the push for a more self-reliant Europe has never been more relevant. European defense initiatives such as the Permanent Structured Cooperation, PDSCO, and the European Defense Fund represent concrete steps towards this goal. By investing in their military capabilities and fostering closer defense collaboration, European nations aim to reduce their dependence on U.S. military support. However, achieving strategic autonomy is not without its challenges. It requires not only significant financial investment, but also a unified vision among EU member states, many of which have differing views on the relationship with the US and NATO's role. Beyond defense, Europe is also exploring autonomy in other critical areas, such as technology and digital infrastructure, to reduce reliance on non-European tech giants. The push for a digital euro and efforts to regulate digital platforms are part of this broader strategy to enhance Europe's sovereignty in the digital age. Economically, Europe faces the task of navigating a complex relationship with the US, balancing trade and investment ties with the need for strategic independence. The pursuit of new trade agreements and investment in green technologies are part of Europe's strategy to diversify its economic partnerships and reduce vulnerability to external pressures. As we delve into these strategic alternatives, it becomes clear that Europe's path towards greater autonomy is both a necessity and a challenge. The potential for a Trump presidency acts as a catalyst for Europe to reassess its role on the global stage and redefine its alliances for the 21st century. The implications of this shift are profound, not just for Europe, but for the entire international order. Voices of Insight. Navigating the future of transatlantic security. In seeking a deeper understanding of the complex dynamics at play, we've reached out to a panel of experts in international relations, defense strategy, and European politics. Their insights shed light on the potential ramifications of a Trump presidency for the transatlantic alliance and the strategic calculus of European nations. First, we hear from Dr. Emily Thompson, a geopolitical analyst who emphasizes the unpredictability that a Trump administration brings to international diplomacy. She points out a Trump presidency could lead to a significant realignment of U.S. foreign policy priorities, with profound implications for NATO and European security. Europe may find itself in a position where it needs to significantly bolster its defense capabilities independently. Next, Professor Marcus Vogel, a specialist in European Union politics, discusses the concept of European strategic autonomy. The idea isn't new, but the urgency is. With the potential for U.S. disengagement, the EU is prompted to accelerate its efforts towards achieving a degree of independence in defense and technology that would allow it to navigate global challenges more effectively. We also spoke with Ambassador John Harrington, a former U.S. diplomat who offers a perspective on the importance of maintaining strong transatlantic ties. Despite the challenges, the U.S. and Europe share fundamental values and interests. It's crucial to find common ground and strengthen the alliance to address global issues like climate change, cybersecurity, and counterterrorism. Finally, military strategist Colonel Laura Becker highlights the strategic implications for NATO. The alliance's strength lies in its unity. Any shift in U.S. commitment could test NATO's cohesion, but it also presents an opportunity for Europe to redefine its role and contributions to collective defense. These expert opinions underscore the complexity of navigating a potential Trump presidency. While uncertainties abound, one thing is clear: the need for strategic foresight and collaboration among European nations and their allies to ensure a stable and secure international order. Beyond the headlines, the quest for truth in an uncertain world. As we wrap up our exploration into the potential geopolitical shifts under a Trump presidency, it's clear that the implications for U.S.-Europe relations and global security are profound and multifaceted. From the future of NATO and European defense autonomy to the broader dynamics of international diplomacy, the stakes are high. Europe stands at crossroads, facing the challenge of navigating an uncertain future, while striving for strategic autonomy and a stronger, more unified stance on the global stage. In these complex times, the pursuit of truth and the dissemination of comprehensive analyses become all the more crucial. This brings us to the mission of our channel, GeoLand. Here at GeoLand, we are committed to providing exclusive content that delves beyond the surface of mainstream media narratives. Our goal is to uncover the truth, sharing insights and perspectives that are often overlooked or ignored by traditional outlets. GeoLand operates under a veil of anonymity, not for the sake of secrecy, but to ensure that our content remains uninfluenced by external pressures and biases. In a world where the truth is often contested, our anonymity is our strength, allowing us to present unvarnished realities to our audience. But we cannot do this alone. Every view, every share, and every subscriber helps us grow and enhances our ability to bring you deeper, more insightful content. Your support empowers us to challenge the status quo and to continue our quest for truth. As we conclude today's discussion, we invite you to reflect on the issues raised and to join us in this journey of discovery and understanding. Share this video with those who seek more than just headlines and subscribe to GeoLand for more content that dares to go further. Together, we can build a community of informed citizens, ready to engage with the world's complexities and to advocate for a more transparent, just, and peaceful global order. Thank you for being a part of this mission. Your engagement is not just a contribution, it's a statement that the pursuit of truth matters, now more than ever. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and never stop seeking the truth.